Hi, everybody, and welcome back to our next Cats Track. I have a very special guest today. I'd like to introduce you to my dear friend, Shondell Sabad. John was born in Calgary and was raised in southern Manitoba. He has two boys, ages 20 and 18, and he's very proud of both of them. He loves water skiing and he keeps very busy with a variety of things, including working on interesting projects, exploring new technology, and you can always find him supporting our vulnerable community. He's such a good human, and I'm blessed to call him my friend. Thank you so much for joining us today, Sean.
Thank you, Catherine. I'm honored.
Oh, thank you. May we start with the questions that I provided you earlier today?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So what has been your greatest challenge in the last 2 months?
You know, for me, I think it's just been looking at alternative ways of thinking. Certainly the COVID crisis has, been shocking for all of us. And it's been something that for the majority of us, we have never had to deal with anything like this in our lifetime. And, for the approach I took was, what are some of the alternative ways of looking at this, and what are some of the alternative strategies that other countries are using, first of all, to minimize the impact on the population, but also on the economy and also people's mental health. So, the example I use is places like Taiwan, where very early on, they locked down the country. They distributed masks. They kept people working. And again, I'm not suggesting that one approach was right or one approach was wrong. I just know that in places like that, there was less impact on people's stress, less impact on the economy, kept people working, kept people in school. So it's just about really opening up the universe to other alternative ways of thinking, and maybe not necessarily going down that path, but at least exploring.
Very good. Thank you for sharing that. And what are the top 3 things that you want to share with our audience today?
Well, I think, first of all, many people have been pleasantly surprised by work from home. And my thinking is that that's probably going to continue to be a much larger part of our society than it has been in the past. I know that for the past 15 years, the work from home population has actually tripled in North America. And I think that that's just going to continue to accelerate as more people embrace it. Maybe not 100% work from home, but certainly a combination. And, just given the constraints that many companies are going to be facing with respect to expenses, it's actually quite encouraging to know that companies save roughly about $11,000 per employee, even if the employees work in part-time from home, and the employees save about $4,000. So the move to work from home is going to be accelerated by, certainly because of what we've gone through, but also it's a great opportunity for employees and for companies to save money.
I agree.
Yeah, and I think the second thing for me is that, this certainly has been a strain on all the resources of this country. And what we find is when we look back through history, I think there's been a lot of talk about this being an unprecedented situation, but, quite honestly, we have been through, not in our lifetimes, but we have been through times like this before, many times through history. And there are a couple of things that are fairly common. First of all, when we do come out of this, there is going to be additional hardship. I think it's important for us to all recognize that, and, to kind of have some compassion and empathy for all those around us. There is going to be less tax revenue. It certainly probably means that taxes are going to be higher. It probably means that services will be lower. But we do come through it. We come through it on the other side, and it's just not without hardship. That's all. And I think the third thing is, obviously, we will come through this. Never bet against human ingenuity. People build and gain a lot of resilience when they come through something like this. I think, at least in the short term, they become a lot more compassionate. They become a lot more empathetic. And those are certainly good things for our society. So, I mean, I look back at, for example, somebody who was born in 1900, chances are, they may have known somebody who died in a war. They may have had to go to war themselves. They certainly lived through the First World War, then the Depression, which really was one of the worst depressions we've ever seen. Chances are they may have sent a child or knew of somebody who had to send a child into the Second World War. So lots of events that they lived through, much like we're living through today. And, so it's not unprecedented. It's something that's going to shape our lives as we go forward. But people are resilient. People are, they're always looking for ways to improve their life. So once we come out of this, I have faith in human capacity to build things.
You're one of the most positive people I've ever and for your finance technical brain, that's not normally in the same person. Very impressive. Thank you, Sean. And the final question is always around legacy or a good news story. Is there anything you'd like to share in closing?
Well, for me, it's not really so much about a legacy. It's mostly there are going to be some great things that come out of this. We might not see it now, and it's important to lend support to those things. And I hope if I look back on this in 10 years, I can say, I was part of something good that came out of this crisis. And I think if we can all say that in some way, then we can all be proud of ourselves.
Well said. Thank you again for joining us, Sean. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
And that was Mr. Shondell Sabad. So glad he joined us. Please check out his full bio attached, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Take care.